last night's performance was diabolical. Where do you go from here? What does Tottenham need to do in the transfer market? And also a homophobic chant in the stadium. How do we kick this out of football? All this morning on Tottenham Tank Goals Coffee Morning with Mr. Kaufman from his coffee shop. Hi and good morning from Tottenham Tantrum Goals, your home of classic games and content and classic debates. This morning we're dissecting the performance from last night from Stamford Bridge. What went wrong? Where did it go wrong? How did it go wrong? And why did it go wrong? And why is Levy still in charge of Tottenham? And why is Kermit the Frog still chasing Miss Piggy? Them questions we shall never know, but we'll try to answer them anyway. This morning with me normally is my normal mate down the bottom, Ben from his coffee shop. I think he needs something stronger than coffee. Put a bit of whiskey in there and a few Irish coffees. And beside me is who I've nicknamed now, The Undertaker. I nicknamed him that because on Will Stewart's last night, I put a comment in to Cody Mack that Kubi's new nickname is The Undertaker. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new Undertaker. How are you, Kobe?
I haven't got the entrance music for that, mate. Do I draw the curtains a bit first? Doing well there, mate. Just
beat behind them like this.
Very scary. It does me. I've got goosebumps, mate. Got an interesting match on this morning. For the background, it's actually Cyril Knowles' memorial match. It's a game between the Spurs FA Cup winning teams of the 81-82 seasons and the Spurs 91 season. So some very, very well-known names on the show this morning. And you can't beat Spurs v Spurs. Can't go wrong there.
Well, they can't lose, can they?
I'm sure if it was done in the Levy era, would give it a go.
Yeah, we have a lot to say on that this morning. I have a lot to say. My voice sounds a bit hoarse because I'm not really feeling the best this morning, but so I do apologise if I sound like whispering Ted Lowe on the snooker table. And here is Cleveland about to put on the video as he chalks his cue and gets ready to put on the video now. Right, that's a very bad impression of listening. Do you remember whispering Ted Lowe?
Of course I do. Right, that's Stevie Perryman, definitely. He would be.
I wonder who's coming on tomorrow. Go on, Cleve.
Let's think. Could it be tomorrow at 5:30? We have the legendary club skipper Stephen Perryman joining us. He's going to be promoting his new book and talking about times at Spurs, along with watching along one of his favourite matches. Well, his favourite match, in fact, which will be AC Milan back in the 1972 Cup Winners' Cup, if I remember rightly, Dermot.
Yeah, it was. He won the He won the 71 League Cup, 72 UEFA Cup, 73 League Cup. He was runner-up in the 74 UEFA Cup. Then he won the 81-82 FA Cups, and he won the 1984 UEFA Cup, but he was suspended for the second leg, but he's still club captain, and he's our skipper.
Absolutely. And record appearance holder in them.
We're going to have to put some of them stats. We're going to have to put some of them stats onto the system for tomorrow's.
We will indeed.
Ben, have you simmered down yet?
No, I have not.
Is that hang on? Was that
Paul Walsh?
That looked like what's his name?
Paul Walsh.
The fellow out it looked like the man out of Miami Vice.
Crockett.
Yeah. Looked a bit like Crockett.
Don Johnson, wasn't it?
Yeah, Don Johnson. Do you know they're making a remake of that?
I don't see.
They're actually bringing them back. They're actually bringing Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas back again.
I think that's just I don't think that's going to age very well somehow.
No, I think they're bringing them back. That one of them's in charge of Miami Vice, the Vice Department.
Yeah, it seems to be a popular thing, the cameo roles and things like that.
Yeah. I love Miami Vice.
That's Ozzy Ardiles, Glenn
Ozzy, if you're watching, please come on to our channel. There's the great Ray Clements.
Ray Clements,
honestly.
yeah.
May he rest in peace. That was a sad day, but anyway, I can't wait to get Mr. Stevie B in
Absolutely.
tomorrow. The skipper.
No,
It's Mickey Hazard.
No, that's Mickey Hazard. I know Graham Roberts is on the pitch somewhere. So Tony Galvin, can't miss him. Socks rolled down straight away.
Yeah. Where's the music coming from?
Sorry.
Well, Ben's coffee shop. So it's a working area.
Yeah.
That one, isn't it?
Sounded like it was somebody at a funeral, but probably we all feel like we're at a funeral this morning with there's Ozzy getting.
Well, I am the Undertaker apparently, so it would be appropriate.
Yeah, I did put in the
Undertaker. That's what I don't understand.
Could you look like him?
Undertaker flat cap era. I don't remember that one.
I did say to Will Stewart last night about Steve Perryman coming on, and apparently we're in his top 5 shows. Apparently.
Nice.
That's a compliment and a half.
It certainly is.
So good morning, Will Stewart. Will, if you're watching.
91.
He done a great show. I couldn't sleep last night, and I watched a bit of the show. Fantastic show. I love his entrance music. I have to find out where he gets it.
It's always on just too late for me to, unfortunately. So I try and fit it in during the day, and it's there's a lot to fit in when you do.
Well, I sent in a super chat last night, plugging the show.
Nice one.
Saying Mr. I said to him last night it was a total embarrassment. I said Bill Nick would be turning in his grave to see that the house that he built being torn down by Levy and Enoch. I said, but on the brighter note, we have Steve Perryman on the show on Friday.
Indeed.
I would love to know what Steve Perryman's thoughts on this was.
Get a share, and I'll be better than them lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get the lads back together.
Couple of people joining us this morning. Carl Simpson, morning, mate.
Morning, Carl.
He said, morning, gents. Hope you're well. I have to be honest, I'm still really annoyed. I just logged off from last night and didn't look at it again. Yeah.
Well, I'm a sad kid. I did look. I rewatched it again just to see where it all went wrong, and I have my answers.
Mark Cousins, morning, lads. Still mad. Dr. Tottenham is back. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks that way. Wayne Bonner, good morning, mate.
Morning, Wayne. And we've got 5 people watching us, so please like and subscribe and hit that bell for that notification bell. Tomorrow we have Steve Perryman on the show at 5:30. Mr. Tottenham, the skipper, whatever you like to call him, he is a club legend, a club absolute superstar. He's the babyface assassin. And tomorrow will be a bit different on the show. We will get the questions in, but we'll do that probably in the last half hour, 40 minutes of the show. So we're not bombarding.
Or in true Tottenham Tantrum gold fashion, we go on for 3 hours longer and we start going on the piss with Steve Perryman.
That'll be nice. I don't think we're going to be able to do that, though, unfortunately.
Who can drink more pints of Guinness, Mr. Dermot, the Irishman, or the baby-faced assassin? Find out tomorrow on Tottenham Tantrum Gold.
I think the baby-faced assassin can drink me under the table somehow.
And then put 10 out of 10 performance in the day after. What a guy.
Absolutely. Right. Bit of classic football in the meantime.
I feel a bit deflated this morning after last night, actually.
Yeah, it's difficult to get.
Look at that tackle by Tony Galvin.
Would have been a lot nicer if we'd won last night, going to the Stevie Perryman show.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm
not
Carl Simpson said, also, have you seen the Premier League put Leicester slap bang between Arsenal and Chelsea? Great thinking. That's great. Yeah, we're all. It's all going really well now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fixture congestion. Dr. Tottenham back, and time running out on the transfer window as we speak. We were hoping for seeing some signings like instantly, weren't we? 5 days later, nothing so far.
I mean, they've got to do something now. And yesterday showed that we've got a lot of climbing to do, quality wise.
Right, anyway, shall I get through the Spurs news? Because there's a bloody lot of it.
Go for it, Dermot.
Okay. Harry Kane last night with his Instagram paid the price for a poor first half, but the tie isn't over. Great noise from the away end. Yeah. Also on that, I have a club statement this morning, and I'd like to read it to you, if I can, if that's all right with you two.
Yeah, of course.
The club are extremely disappointed by homophobic chanting from sections of our support at Stamford Bridge on Wednesday nights. We work closely with our LGBTQ plus fans group, Proud Lily Whites, to create a welcoming and inclusive environment at our club, and are proud to display the progress flag in the stadium on match days. No one should suffer discrimination because of their sexuality, orientation, or their gender identity. We urge supporters not to use this chant. Homophobic chanting at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium should be reported texting HPH and location. Details to the number. The number is 07537 404 821 at the stadium. It should be reported to the steward or via the home club's number. There is no place for discrimination at Tottenham Hotspur. That is a club statement that was released this morning. Thoughts, guys, on that very quickly?
I didn't hear what it's referring to, but obviously you don't tolerate anything like that. We're supposed to be an advanced civilization now, so we need to put the civil back into it. You can't discriminate against any group, any minority group at all, can you? It's just plain wrong. We're an all-inclusive club.
Yeah. Ben, very quickly on the club statement this morning.
Well, I think I know what the chant they're referring to because I could hear it, and a lot of teams do it. But it's got to that point where it's just not even funny. I don't understand why we still chant it. It's not funny. It's not clever, and it just needs to piss off. We are an all-inclusive club. We were the first team to have black players, first team to have this players. We are Tottenham Hotspur, a team that accepts everyone.
First team to have Irish players.
First team to have Irish players, Jewish players. Everyone under the sun can play for Tottenham Hotspur. Muslim, Catholic, Protestant, Baha'i, any nationality, any religion. You're welcome at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club as long as you play for that badge. And we need the fans need to respect that message.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we on this channel do not stand for anything distant, bullying, discrimination. That's why I said what I said last night with the people against Dave Harris. People slightly digging at Dave. You do not dig at a fellow YouTube creator. Dave Harris is a good friend of mine. I'm a good friend in this channel. And if we find anyone digging at him, bullying, or anything like that, there will be consequences. And also, if anyone's got any racial abuse on this channel, you will be reported to the authorities. And that I will promise you. Mark Cousins, they added to this one.
Yeah, what year is this? You said I went to Tottenham versus Tottenham in the 1990s. Yeah, this is from 1990.
I think this might be the one he went to.
It probably is. It's certainly the FA Cup winning side from the 81-82 seasons, and against the 91 FA Cup winning side.
Can I ask you a question, Keith?
Yeah.
If this is a Cyril Knowles testimonial
memorial,
why was he not against the 70 side?
Because we didn't have the FA Cup then.
Well, we won the League Cup and the UEFA Cup.
Yeah, well, maybe some of the players were just getting on a little bit too much, mate.
Or they were dead.
Yeah, there's that as well.
The 70s team would still beat the 90s team, missing half their team.
Oh, oops! Oh, that's a bit of oh dear, he's really young. That's a bit of an embarrassing one for.
That's not Ray
isn't it?
Clements. Who is this?
Oh dear, he would
made
have been coaching the youngsters at this point.
He made a few clangers at that point, didn't he, in his time? But anyway.
He did. Good big smile on his face afterwards, though.
That's another question I'd love to ask Steve Perman. Who is the best keeper, Ray Clements or Pat Jennings?
Oh, that's going to be a tough one for him.
Yeah, I won't ask that one to Ben because we'll end up in an argument this morning again, a bit like George Best and Gareth Bale. Right.
I think Stevie P's going to be very diplomatic on that one. I bet he says it. They're both
Shall I ask Ben that question? Shall I ask?
Might as well.
Go on then.
Yeah. What's better, a baby elephant or a baby giraffe? No, that wasn't the question. Who's the better goalkeeper?
It's elephant, by the way.
No, it's not. It's giraffe. Right.
No,
who's the better goalkeeper, Pat Jennings or Ray Clements?
Pat Jennings, in my opinion.
See, we agree on something.
I mean, the story's my uncle, because my uncle grew up in the 60s. He was born in the late 50s, and he grew up in the 60s watching Pat Jennings going at the ground. And the stories he used to tell about Pat Jennings, like if a corner was come in the box, he wouldn't even need to jump for it. He'd put his arm up, and the ball would fall straight in his hand, and he'd catch it in one hand, and then he'd throw it halfway up the pitch. I mean, he was a superhuman.
We've got Derek Hutchinson here too.
Yep, morning, mate. Good of
morning,
you to join us
Derek.
again.
Notice Ray Clements was taken off.
He was. I was trying to work out who it was came on. Was it Chris Day, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it was Chris Day. Oh my good lord, we've got a lot of we have a lot of news to get through. All have.
Go on, fire away, Dermot.
Okay. If you want to answer, there's anyone to you two, so just jump in.
I thought Hodder was about to weave his way through there.
Yeah. Oh, big up the Stock Jive one again for the this video. I apologise. I didn't put this up on Twitter about this morning's show. I'm sorry, so I do apologise. This is from twitter.com and the Spurs web. TFC are open to allowing Matt Doherty to leave this window with a possible loan switch back to Wolves on the cards. So that's that from there. I think you both agree with that, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's best for him, best for the club.
Absolutely.
Tottenham are potentially one of the 6 teams interested in signing Coutinho. Aston Villa are the leading club for that. But I hope he comes to us, and that's by Sky Sports. So
I'm expecting Newcastle.
Well, I'm expecting Paratici to pull this one out of the fire.
It's something we need. We really need a creative player, especially after yesterday. And he is definitely a quality player.
Right.
I think in this particular instance, we need somebody that's Premiership proven as well.
Yeah.
Which he is. He is. Gabby Onola, the former Aston Villa player and Birmingham player. I think he played for Birmingham. Is it Abby Onola?
Akbonlahor.
No.
No?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Agbonlahor. Yeah. I think he talks a lot of crap half the time on Talk Sport, but there you go. He says, I think Spurs fans are overreacting. Well, I'm not reading that anymore. That's a load of nonsense.
Looks like Mark Falco just put the ball in the net there.
Happy birthday to our former player and manager, Terry Venables, this morning. So happy birthday, Eltel.
If he's watching, happy birthday.
Yeah, Terry Venables watching us today. Yeah. There's more chance of that happening than the Queen coming on and the President of Ireland coming on together and wishing us say what a great channel we are, which we are.
I mean, if Graham Roberts is a fan of our show, the sky's the limit.
Here's a lovely comment here. Duck Drive 1, good of you to join us again, mate, and thank you again for the use of your footage. He said before this match, which was on the 10th of November 1991, there was a 20-minute each half game between Spurs 71 League Cup winners and Arsenal 71 league title winners. Oh, yes. I wonder if that's a bit spicy still. Well, I bet it is. Duck Drive 1 continuing. I have footage of the Spurs Arsenal 71 teams playing, and I will upload it in YouTube in the next week. We'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Reminder to everybody, if you want to see these games with the original soundtrack as well, head on over to Duck Drive 1's channel. He's got some fantastic content, both Spurs and England games.
Brilliant bloke as well. Really nice bloke.
Simon he's a really diamond, and we really do appreciate what he's done for us. So thank you so much, Simon. It's really appreciated.
He literally puts the petrol in the tank for us here on the channel.
Does, yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
Derek Hutchinson saying we as a team need major heart surgery. It's looking that way, isn't it? We were lacking it. Such a shame when even Skip and Højbjerg were almost anonymous in midfield as well. Needed the extra hand in there in that first half.
We did.
Is the 3-4-3 failing us? That's what we got to ask, I think. Carterman from Farming Simulator, good of you to join us again, mate. Morning all. Hope all's well. Congrats on getting Steve Perryman on your show. Great achievement for your channel. Thank you, mate. We are really thrilled about that.
I am nervous as hell.
It's Dermot's all-time hero, so he's going to be an absolute wrecker. We'll have to try and steady Dermot.
That's called anxiety with ADHD. It doesn't work together, believe me. I think that's what happened to me last night. I got a bit of stage fright, I think, last night, and it was like all levels go.
It's Stevie Perry, man. He's one of the lads. You'll be right, mate. He's just one of us, really.
I agree with Carl Simpson.
That's won loads of trophies and is an immortal god.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for making it easy for me, Cliff. Right. I agree with Carl Simpson here.
It's not the formation; it's the players.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit of both, really, isn't it? Because sometimes you can, if you play in a way that doesn't suit certain players, it just doesn't come off well. But
right, I have a little bit of breaking news for you. Tottenham are not interested in signing Coutinho.
Oh, brilliant!
I didn't think we would be. He'll be on sky high wages, and he's an aging player. I mean, it doesn't go with a Levy sort of vision, does it? Mark Cousins saying, I was there that day, went in a minibus from work via the Bell and Hare. Nice.
And another bit of breaking news, Premier League news. The executive vice chairman of Man United, Ed Woodward, is it Woodward?
Woodward.
Has left the club.
Oh, they're going to be ecstatic.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing United fans happy.
True enough, mate.
Yeah.
It's not the formation; it's the players. I was saying this a bit of both because if we look a bit better when we change to a 3-5-2 sometimes, a little bit less players going up on the forward line and just flooding the midfield a bit more. That's been a regular sort of thing with us. I mean, all of our some of our really great sides, we play that 5-man midfield and really control the game there. I was surprised to see us so adventurous against Chelsea, to be honest. But it's also the players. Yeah, you can't deny that too. We were off the ball, off the marker all night, all that first half, where we threw the game away. Weren't closing down quickly enough. There wasn't enough aggression. The pressing was missing. The passing was a bit off. People weren't composed on the ball. It was Dr. Tottenham back.
What a goal!
What a goal that is!
Who scored that? I bet you that was Steve Perryman. No, it was Little Ozzy. No, it wasn't.
No, it's not that.
Who's that?
Hang on, who is that? That's not Paul Allen, surely.
No. What a volley, though.
He's levered that in the footlight attraction engine.
Can I just say, it's my computer quieter for everyone.
It's still a bit jet turbine, but it's part of the show.
Hear it. Yeah,
that's the fire. I've got the electric fire on.
All right. Well, seems all right. Anyway.
Right. Can I get through some of these news very quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
You got a few comments there. So,
could couple of comments and then back to the news. Well,
yeah.
Hang on. Carl Simpson saying so many players need to go. What a surprise we're not interested in a decent proven Premier League player with the creative spark. We'll be an unproven 20-year-old, I bet. We need older quality. I agree. I think both of those parts are going to happen.
Yeah.
It'll be one for the future again.
Brian Daigle will be there with his pitchfork. Have Levy stall.
Yeah, I think there will be more villagers at the gate this time as well. Duck Drive 1 saying, I thought Levy and Lewis had woken up. I expected us to have spent about 300 million already just 6 days into the transfer window. Yeah, I'm the same, mate. It's so obvious that we need big investment, isn't it? I think everybody's agreed on that.
Can I have my 2 minutes spent, if that's all right with you, Cliff?
Absolutely. Two more little comments, and then we'll go to you straight to you, Dermot. Okay.
All right.
Dr. saying Terry Gibson scored.
Of course, it was Terry Gibson.
Yeah. Of course. Nice one, mate.
It was.
Mark Cousins, we were lucky it was 2, could have been 5 or 6. Exactly. We were utterly outplayed. Improvement in the second half, but it's all too late by then.
Yeah. Last night was an embarrassment to be a Tottenham Hotspur supporter. And I'm not usually embarrassed. I've seen our team play bad before. We played bad on the Aussie years when we never got relegated. We've been relegated. But we always, if any time we played badly, we always went out with a fight. There was no fight last time. No, nothing. They didn't care. Tatanga. I feel sorry for the young lad. I think his confidence is shot. I think his defending is woeful. I think Sanchez was like Bambi on ice. I think he played terrible. Doherty had a good, mediocre, good first half. Emerson, he's not growing on me at all. I'm sorry. That I don't care what anyone says. I think he's freaking useless. All these good forwards falling on the ground, pretending to be injured, like he's been shot by Sue Wellen in Dallas, like he's J.R. Ewing. I think that the midfield was non-existent. Harry Kane, you can't blame Harry Kane because he wasn't getting the service. Son's been off the boil. Mora. Stelios was saying last night when we were on Tottenham TV, and I sort of agree what he was saying last night, that it has to be, he was saying that some Spurs fans are deluded, thinking we're going to reach top 4 and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're not a top 4 club, we're a top 6 club. I sort of agree what he was saying. But, on the other hand, he was also saying Conte has made an average bunch of players look good. Can you imagine what he's done if he had a quality squad? As he said last night, if you take Kane and Son out of that team, we're in trouble. And I agree with him. I think a lot what's his name do?
Sorry.
The fella does the coaching. He says he's coach.
Stelly.
He was on. Yeah. I agree with a lot of what he said last night. A lot of it made absolute sense. But I am so wound up this morning. I really am. I think Levy has to do something. If Levy doesn't do anything this window, then I think Paratici's not the person he thought he was. Conte will leave. Conte will walk out the first February. He twice he's called out the board now on 3 press conferences. 1 before the game and 1 after the game. And I just, you look at this 81 side, you look at these 2 sides compared to what we have to watch. It's quite sad, isn't it?
It's all these. Doc Jones just made a good comment here. Hoddle's ripping this match apart. Absolute genius. Yeah, you watch him on the ball. His vision's there still. You can't teach those sort of passing ability in the vision.
And all these people that back Levy, and Levy's a great businessman, and Levy's a genius, and Levy's built a big stadium, and Levy's done this, did that. I'm talking out there a-hole. That man couldn't manage a kindergarten group. He couldn't teach a bunch of 2-year-olds how to say their their sweeties. That man hasn't got a fucking clue. He's an accountant, and he's a bad accountant at that. Now the likes of Sean, even you, Ben, and I'm not digging you out, Ben. Just hear me out. I know you're on the fence with Levy, Ben, so and that. But the likes of Sean and all them that think the finances is this and the finances is that. It is a football club at the end of the day. We don't go to Tottenham to find what's the latest finance news is going to be. We go to a football club to watch us win trophies. I've been supporting Tottenham since 1980, 81. Cooper's been supporting them. He went to the year we went down and went back up again in 78, 77, 78. Ben's been following them for the last, don't know, 20 years, Ben.
26 years, give or take.
Yeah. How long have you been supporting Tottenham for, Cliff?
Well, I don't remember the game too much, but I remember going to the ground. I was 5 years old, so it would have been 1976.
Yeah. So how long have you been supporting them now? Over 40 years?
Well, yeah, 44, 45 years.
I've been supporting them for 40, 41 years. Why should we have to be put through this now? The last 20 years of being a Spurs fan has been painful. And I'm absolutely sick to death of all these Levian people. They need to wake up and smell the coffee. Yeah, it's great having a big stadium. You can bring in this person, you can bring in that person, you can bring in the NFL, you can bring in Lady Gaga or Guns N' Roses. Yippee! Let's all go and have a piss up watching Lady Gaga. We support a football club. We're not a football club anymore. We're a business. We're a franchise. And it's broke my heart because I keep saying it. The house that Bill Nick built is now gone. There's no soul in that team. There's no DNA. And I disagree with Stelios last night. That club, DNA of that club is fast-flowing attacking football. We've done it all the way through the years. We haven't got one player there last night who cared about our club, cared about the cocktail on the badge. And it is heartbreaking. And if Levy doesn't sort this out, Conte will leave, and Levy then know what Levy out means. But I'm sick. I've had a buck teeth and a back full of hearing people about finances. But we're putting financially with this year. Yeah, I don't want to care about us being financially brilliant. I want us to lift up an FA Cup. We haven't won an FA Cup in 30 years. We haven't won a League Cup since 2008. We haven't won a league since 61. We haven't won a European trophy since 1984. We're Tottenham Hotspur, for Christ's sake. We're not Wycombe Wanderers. You know, I've had enough. I've had a back full of it. And,
yeah,
you know,
the glory years are not celebrating top four finishes, are
no.
they? It's lifting trophies.
No.
That's been...
I'm sorry, I wasn't digging out Sean, by the way. I was just using it as an example, and I just put it out there. I wasn't digging out you, Sean, or you, Ben, but I just wanted to put that point across that then people need to realise that it's not all about the finances. Fans don't care about finances; they care about trophies. So I apologise if I went over the line in any of that, my little outburst. I do apologise, but I wasn't digging you out, Sean.
Yeah, I think it sounded a little bit unfair. It's like they're just worried about the finances. But yeah, I know where you're coming from, Dermot. At the end of the day, Ben and Sean, they are Spurs fans. They want the same thing. We all want to see trophies. But I can also see the other side of it as well, because at the end of the day, Levy has made us a secure club financially. It's not been a complete idiot. It's just the football side as he seems to be lacking in with his decision making. Business wise, it's fine, isn't it? The thing is with the team. Oh, hang on, this sort of kind of fits in with one of the comments here I'll deal with as well. Carl Simpson said, "What winds me up is that Levy is a businessman and should know a successful Spurs means more opportunities to earn a lot more money." he'll be fully aware of that. The thing is with Levy, as I understand it, he wants to do everything as safely and securely as possible. He wants to get a return for his money on safe investments, little risk as possible, as big a reward as possible. I mean, that is the way to do business in most areas, really. So investing in players, the values fluctuate. It's a risky thing. If you spent £1 billion on just players and they all go rubbish overnight, you're going to make a terrible loss. But he's invested wisely in bricks and mortar, and we've got all these off-field activities to secure the club's future, if you like. We've paid the price on the pitch for it because he doesn't seem to be appointing the right people, backroom staff, when it comes to the football. And I think that's what's wound everybody up, really. That's what he needs to get right. I mean, the big hope is with Paratici and Conte to put that right, but 6 days into the transfer market, nothing happening so far. You're beginning to wonder, aren't you?
Ben, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I would love to get your opinion on this, and I wasn't digging you out, by the way, Ben. I was trying to make a point.
No, it's a perfect point.
I'm sorry, if I offended you or Sean, I do apologise.
It's a perfect point.
Right. If you were to get rid of the NFL and all the concerts and just concentrate on football, would you be happy with that?
Well, it should be under one umbrella. But when you own a football club and the front and centre is the football club should always come first. The NFL are not Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Yes, it earns us a lot of money, and yes, it's brilliant for the club in terms of a financial aspect. But the main job for Daniel Levy, as the chairman of Tottenham Hotspur, he's not the chairman of this and that in the NFL, he's the chairman of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, is his first priority should be to make the football team successful. And he's not doing it. If he's failing job number one, it's a real problem. I don't care if he's getting job 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 30 right. If he's not getting job number one right, it's a real problem. And the priority for Daniel Levy should be to get the football club right. So finances are important. They are incredibly important. But when you are the chairman of a football club, the main job is to get the football club successful, which means employing the right people to delegate and get the right thing. If he wants to do the business side, brilliant. But at least let Paratici and Conte and the people in the football side of things do their job. And for years, he has stifled every single chance we've had of winning trophies because of his ego. And I credit him for the financial decisions he's made because a lot of them have been utterly brilliant. But if you can't get job number one correct, that's a real problem. And that's my point of view on the matter. The Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, as a football club, the football club comes first at the end of the day. And the people that surround the football club are the most important people. The chairman of the NFL should not be important to Tottenham. It is important, but it shouldn't be important. The most important thing for Tottenham Hotspur are the stakeholders of the football club, which are the fans, the supporters, the visitors, the employees, the businesses in the local area that thrive when Tottenham play. That is what should matter to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and not to the chairman of the NFL, not to Lady Gaga, not to Guns N' Roses, as much as I like Guns N' Roses. The most important thing is Tottenham Hotspur, the people that surround the club, and the businesses that surround the club, because we are neglecting those at the moment.
Yeah, Dermot, I always get the impression with Levy when it comes to appointments, it's kind of like the kid in the toy shop. He looks at the latest thing that's on the just by the door. Wow, we'll have that. And then as he's going to pay for it, he spots something else out of the corner of his eye. Oh, that's shiny. I've heard of them. Let's get that instead. And it's this constant chopping and changing. There's no real direction when it comes to the management and when it comes to the team's direction, the shape of the team. That's where I think we've lost the DNA. It's during that time we're chopping and changing constantly. Style of play, different style of the managers. The kids aren't learning from the bottom of the run towards the top. When it used to be Pochettino wanted to do this as well. The Ajax system, where You learn it from the youngest players at the club. Learn to play a certain way. They get used to playing in certain positions, and you change it around. They all know what's expected when they reach the first team, and we keep changing that. It's not healthy. We can see the results. We're getting nowhere. There's no sense of purpose, no direction. So I think that's where he's getting it tragically wrong, isn't it, mate?
It is, and also, please tell me why is Steve Hitchen still there? Honest to God, I mean, I want to ask you a question, Goof. If you were in charge of Tottenham Hotspur, right, and you've got Steve Hitchen there, right, who's absolutely useless at his job, right? He's brought in crap players. He brought in Dombele. I mean, what the hell does he see in that man? He came on last night, and I think Phil was saying how great he was. He's doing brilliant, and then suddenly he disappeared for the match. Why is Hitchen still there? Can you two explain to me why is Hitchen still there? Because I can't figure that one out.
There's only one thing that springs to mind with, and he is just a yes man, and Daniel Levy likes him. That's it. I can't see any other reason. I think Hitchen just says the right thing at the right time to Levy, and he squirms and hangs on to his job. I've got a feeling he's doing the same with Paratici. He's acting as the buffer between Paratici and Levy. Perhaps that is his role, is to soften the blow for the other one. Otherwise, it'll be open warfare, and Levy would get the last say on that, and they'll all be off. Perhaps that is the purpose.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's broke my head. I've got here the list of managers Levy's had since he's been in charge. Now, this is the point you're making about managers chopping and changing. Cooper, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
About okay. 2001, we had George Graham in. That was Alan Sugar's last management appointment. 2001, we had David Pleat as caretaker. Then Glenn Hoddle came in 2001. 2003, we had David Pleat again. 2004, we had Santini. I was still scratching my head at that one. 2004, we had Martin Yole. And that's another thing. That shows that man's got no dignity. He sacks a man at half time. I mean, it's just right. So we'll get through in these comments, Cooper, and then I'll go back to this because there's a bit into this. I need to get back onto the Spurs news as well.
Absolutely. It all ties in together anyway, what we're talking about, doesn't it? Carl Simpson saying, I loved it. Conte was looking straight in the camera, telling Levy to sort it out.
Yeah.
Pressure on Levy now, straight out in the media.
Yeah. I do.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
It was.
Oh, yeah, had this comment from earlier. Yeah, Dutch Joe pointing out about Hoddle ripping controlling that match. You don't lose it if you're genius, do you? No. Carl Simpson, 35 years of support from him. Yeah. It's a long time, mate, isn't it? Mark Cousins, top 4 is a trophy to Levy to get in the Champions League money. Yeah, exactly.
Can I just say that star comment off the show so far? That one, because that's just spot on. That is absolutely hits the nail on the head with Levy. That's his trophy. So
it is.
You know what I mean? It is unreal.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of a good thing to aim at season after season, getting the Champions League. Of course, it is. I mean, it's big money and it's high profile for the club, but we seem to just take our foot off the accelerator when we reach it, don't we? It's he's happy to sit in there and fourth. It's fine. He's done well getting us so far, and then he's held us back ever since. That's my opinion on Levy. Yeah. So, it's we're not going anywhere in a hurry. No. Carl Simpson, just sell us now, then Levy and Enoch, maximise your profit. As if he carries on the way he does, he'll be trying to flog a dead horse. Well, that's it. If he can keep the dead horse in 4th place, he'll be very happy. We're just missing out. We're just missing out. He doesn't seem able to.
I've just got to pop off for a few minutes, Dave. If I let you just go through the thing, just got to pop off.
No problem at all. Carterman here saying, Absolutely spot on, Ben. It's time they prioritise the team over business. Yeah, couldn't agree more, mate.
Well, but it is prioritising the business because the main business of the club is football.
Yeah.
So it is pride. But the point, when you have a multiple billion-dollar company, you have multiple layer. You don't have one structure. We have one structure of the club, which is headed by Levy. In a billion-dollar company, you have 3 structures or how many structures you need. It's like this structure is the football side. Like HMRC has this structure, that structure, technology, this, that. You have structures, and then the team works with it. They have their own team, and that focuses on that part. We seem to be trying to do everything under one roof, which is stupid. It's inefficient, and it's just it's borderline lazy, and it's not maximising the people we have at the football club. Too many people are trying to do 5 jobs at once, and that's just that you've got to focus on what you need to focus on at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Overcomplicating everything is just quite a seems to be a regular business thing at the moment.
Here it is.
Yeah, multitasking is a well used word as well. With so many people doing it. Yeah, we need to get in so many ways down to basics again at the football side of it. Get the manager. The manager should be managing. Not just. I'm not sure if Conte wants to be just a coach. Does he? Is it that simple? I don't think so. I think he wants to have say on which players he's bringing in. Surely, who wouldn't?
Yeah. I mean, the idea is that the manager tells the director. Well, basically, the director of football works for the manager. The manager is the manager. The director of football's job is to sign the players the manager wants.
Yeah.
For some reason, that role has now gone to the director of football telling the manager what he wants. So the roles are not the same as what they used to be back in in the glory years of football.
And as the go-between between the manager and the chairman, and you get the sense even now that the real pressure comes from the chairman, not the manager. It's. Sorry, go on, mate.
It's just like it's go back to what we say. We've got an Italian managing director now, so he should be allowed to implement the club in his image. That is what we thought Paratici was going to do. Make every single football team within the club play. I believe he'll probably want the more pragmatic Italian style approach with a bit here and a bit there. Why are we not doing it? Why have we not just signed every single top coach in Italy to coach the teams? Get every team playing the same way. So if we do have a COVID outbreak and we need to bring some of the under-23s into the team, they know how to play the same system because we will all play the same system. It's just putting circular pegs in circular holes. It makes us. Manchester City do it. Bayern do it. Juventus do it. Barcelona did it in their glory years. They don't do it so much now, which is why they're failing. Every top team has a style of play, and every team in that style, Ajax is the most prevalent one. They all play the same way, which makes it incredibly easy to put players in the team. Yeah. And it's also within the club's it's in the club's philosophy as well, because it means we can bring young players in and they know what they're doing. Absolutely.
Continuity just makes it so much easier for everybody. All pulling in the same direction. You know what's expected. There's no messing about. We just don't do it. Like I said, it's Daniel Levy in the toy shop, isn't it? He sees the next big thing. Oh, let's go for that. Ignore everything that's been done already. It's been proven now. It's 20 years of it, so we can see it's not working doing this style. Is Paratici and Conte, are they going to be big enough personalities to change everything? We're already talking about it 6 days into the transfer window, and it doesn't look like it. You would have thought we got people lined up instantly, right in the middle of a really busy period. You'd think we'd have people ready to walk straight into the team, into the squad at least, just to beef things up and get us going. But looking at Conte and those pressers, it doesn't look good, does it, mate?
Well, it goes back. We've had an example of it with Ferran Torres going to Barcelona. Day one, already done.
Yeah.
Snap your fingers. Deal's already done. Just need to put in the paperwork on day one. Why are we not doing that? Maybe it's because Barcelona and Man City have a good relationship because of Tixi Begiristain. Who knows? But that's what we should be doing. We should be getting these deals sorted before the day and then just putting the paperwork in on the day, and it works. It's not like football clubs don't speak with each other every single day anyway. They all speak with each other. It's not like the 60s and the 70s where they all despise each other and they're all fighting each other. There's a dialogue between the clubs every single day of what's going on and how they can improve the relationship, whether it's UEFA or FIFA. That it's what the clubs are in constant contact. Just get the stuff done.
Yeah, Mark Cousins saying here, Posh guaranteed us top 4. That's why no money was spent. Yeah, exactly. We got to the position Levy wanted, top 4, didn't need to do anything else. Happy to coast along. And then we just deteriorated from there. That in particular makes me more angry than anything else. We had it there in our grasp and just allowed it to slip away. Carl Simpson, well said, Ben. Spitting facts, love it. Absolutely. Top bloke to have on the channel is Ben. Wise beyond your years, mate. I've always said it.
It's about time I lose something.
If it's coffee orientated or quality drink orientated or a bit of Spurs sensibility, then you're the man. What do we think's going to happen? I mean, we keep talking about it. It's an important transfer window. 6 days in, nothing so far. Are you worried?
There's always worry what supporting Tottenham. We'd be 10-0 up and I'd still be worried about us losing the game. But again, back to Dermot's point, we have to be patient. The most important thing is what we do in the summer, but we do need to clog some holes. It's important, but I think we might be over-egging it because we're hypochondriacs, as we always are. But there are a few players who are really gettable that would improve the team and that would guarantee us that Champions League money, which is so sacred to the football club, apparently. I thought Tottenham was the team that was good in cups. But they are players. There are players that we can get now, and we should be getting them.
I think last night especially, they highlighted everything in it, didn't it? That first half, we were just woefully short right the way through the team. There was no character. There was no fight. There was
no leadership.
Nobody able to just put their foot on the ball and sort of dictate play for a little bit. It was all panicked, losing the ball instantly. It's for me. It's now looking even more imperative we get that midfielder in rather than. I mean, Vlahovic is the one we don't want to miss out on, of course. But more important to the team at the moment is that sort of midfielder. We obviously it's too much to expect Skippy and Højbjerg to run everything. I mean, they get overrun, the likes of Chelsea. We need somebody else in there, a bit of drive, bit of energy, bit of passion, and that isn't going to come from Ndombele, is it? Or Dele Alli. So we've got to get somebody in as soon as possible.
I do think we need to apologise to a Mr. Eric Dyer. I think we need to apologise to him because we were all slating him this year, how he's not good enough anymore and he might need to go and he needs to be dropped for Romero. This needs to be dropped for this. Without Eric Dyer in that team, we didn't even look a championship team half through that game. I mean, we've got to give Eric Dyer a massive amount of praise for steadying that ship. Yes,
he's the cornerstone of the defence. He showed it last night. On the pre-match build-up, we're talking about it and saying that this will show how much we're going to miss him. And unfortunately, it's right. You kind of knew it, didn't you?
It's why Conte said he could be a world-class defender. Conte doesn't lie, and he's shown that he's the if he's not in the team, we're not even a shadow. We're like the shadow of a shadow. Yeah,
indeed. Derek Hutchinson saying we need Conte and Paratici to walk out, then go after Levy and get him out. I prefer to see Conte and Paratici stay because that means they're going to get what they want. But I know what you mean. Might be a case of the issue being forced now. Make Daniel Levy's place untenable just from crowd discontent. Maybe that's the only way it's going to work now. We've shown action does seem to happen when the crowd turn on him at the ground. So imagine if all the stands are doing that. Wayne Bonner saying Levy the Leopard will never change his spots. Yeah, you can't shake that feeling, can you? Derek again saying declare war on Levy and Enoch. Yeah, in a positive sort of way from the crowd. Let them know verbally. I think that is the way forward, isn't it? It's seeing the whole of one stand turn on Levy that one game against Man United. Get that from more than one stand. He's going to feel very uncomfortable. He won't like all that coming at him. So, as I said before, the ball is in his court. Conte's very much publicly put it in his court now. Cody Matt, good of you to join us, mate. Just popping on to say hi, guys. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to Steve. Yeah, we're looking forward to Steve Perryman as well. Who isn't? Good of you to drop in, mate. Carl Simpson, we need a Modric or Dembele who seems to be able to slow down player, control the space and the ball forward. Yeah, absolutely. That certainly helps. I mean, that was the talk about Brozovic before as well. Yeah. He will do that at the back. If we get someone like a Kessier or a Barella, that type of player in front of him as well, even better, bit more energy, bit more drive in the team. Then you can give people like Højbjerg a bit of a rest. Skippy can be eased in places. He doesn't have to play every game. You're not putting all the pressure on the youngsters and things. Dermot, you having trouble getting on or something? No?
He just said he can't hear anyone. I think he might need to unplug his headset or something.
Yeah, it's got. I think it's your end, mate.
Yeah.
Caught up on the comments. Yeah, Modric or Dembele. I mean, you'd absolutely kill for either of them in their prime now, wouldn't you? Or both. Yeah, that would be nice thought. Have Modric just sitting in behind the forwards and Dembele in front of the back four or back three, I should say. That'd be
muscle,
fantastic.
Just pure muscle,
and guile as well. Modric, just genius on the ball. Yeah, it really is that midfield that's lacking at the moment. As much as we love Skippy, it's a hell of a lot to put on his shoulders at the moment. Coming up against a Chelsea team, I mean, we're talking about reigning Champions League winners, aren't we? But it's this window. It's this window. Almost impatient to see the end of it now, just to see what we get out of it. We know where we're going then, because we feel lost. The club feels lost at the moment. John Fitzpatrick, big up the boys. Big up yourself, mate. Good of you to join us. Right. Well, Ben, what do you think? What do you think's the priority signing then? Are we talking midfielder, like we're saying, or
midfielder and centre back?
Centre back too. You think what? Dyer to cover Dyer?
Yeah, to cover Dyer.
Yeah,
seems or to be possibly replace him. We need a long term. I mean, a left centre back would be nice as well to cover for Davis, because Davis can't play every game either.
Yeah, true.
But Japhet Tanganga is, unfortunately, as much as we all wanted to see him do well, and he's played a few blinders, yesterday he showed he's a boy, he's a child. Like, he went in and he got mauled, and it wasn't even like, it was like everyone was like, just end his life already. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
That showed that he's just not good enough. He needs to go on loan somewhere and learn his trade. You can't be thrown into a game of that magnitude and expect to be a boy. It's a man's game.
We perhaps are looking at the old adage of you build great teams from the back. We know we got a great goalkeeper. If we can tie Hugh, go down, get a couple of centre backs first. Perhaps that's centre backs and midfielder, steady up things there, and then we'll work on the misfiring forward line. Perhaps you could argue it is that lack of solidity at the back that stops the forwards from working. We don't get the ball to them often enough. Dermot just saying he's having trouble with his headphones, so he can't hear anyone. We'll work on that. I'll see if we can give him a hand off the show. I think we'll wrap up fairly soon, Ben.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just get through a couple of comments, and then Cole Simpson saying, I just want to see some heart and being proactive in bringing players in. My transfer windows are always the same. Later, feeling positive and then worrying on deadline day, fuming cycle over. Yeah, it is always the same, isn't it? You're looking. I always get to the same point where I'm desperately looking on transfer deadline day, and you come out. One of the Sky reporters will say, I'm standing outside of here, but there's no activity and we're not really expecting anything. And you're just thinking, why not just getting that extra player that's going to make all the difference? Desperate for have like a VDV turn up again. It's just not going to happen, is it? It looks like it's a once in a lifetime sort of thing almost under Levy. Mark Cousins saying Skip is 21 and still to learn. Yeah. This is what we come to. I'm relying on a 21-year-old. Yeah, that's what we come to. It is. I mean, he's a great player. He's going to get better, but it is just a massive burden. He needs help. Højbjerg off form at the moment. We've just got nobody else to turn to, have we? I mean, Winks. He's doing well since he's started putting in shifts again, but you wouldn't want him in a battle against top four opposition all the time, would you?
Yeah.
We're just short. Too many places. Levy needs to get a move on. Right. Okay. It was going to be a fairly short show this morning because we've got plans to do. We're certain Steve Berryman joining us tomorrow. We're going to have to put together a few decent questions for him and take a few fan questions in on the day and get ourselves prepared. We won't be back on later on this evening unless something drastic changes. Perhaps there's some big news happens, and then we might do a late show then. So no game later. We're like I said, we're planning for tomorrow. That's the big day for us. Steve Perryman at 5:30 tomorrow. We'll do a morning show tomorrow anyway, just as a build up to it. And we will see you soon. Anything you'd like to add before we go, Ben? Anything on your mind or
sorted?
We'd like to do a nice come on you Spurs usually, but at the moment it's a bit deflated, isn't it? Let's just see some transfer activity. That's the only thing that's going to perk us up. Transfer activity and somehow miraculously turn around this 2-0 deficit. And we've got the Gooners coming up as well. Spanking big FA Cup win in the meantime. That'll help a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we embarrass ourselves in that, it's just going to be. I'll go into hiding again, rewind and do Christmas again. I think.
Yeah,
it's the only thing that's going to help. Anyway, right. Thanks for joining us all today. We shall see you in the morning unless something drastic's happening. Usual morning show 11:30 tomorrow. Ben, you'll be on with us again tomorrow morning.
Of course.
Assuming. Yeah, can't have a coffee morning without Ben's coffee. That's sure. Where can people find you? Where can they find the coffee shop, mate?
You can find us on the Coffee Company at Instagram at the Coffee Company. It's in my name. You can see it. You can find us there, and all the details are on the Instagram page. You just find us. Send us an email if you really want to send us an email. Everything's on there if you want to send us a message, and just give us a shout and we can have a chat. See what you need.
I spotted Dermot in the background. Have you sorted out your headphones yet, mate? Or shall we wrap this up and we'll try and figure it out?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I don't think he can hear us, yeah. Okay, well, we shall see you all tomorrow, 11:30 as usual. Thank you for joining us, and come on, you Spurs.